I definitely think we really focus on just black music in general, but I think him coming from that background of really starting to like Afrobeats music at the time, like he really was getting into like Wizkid and Davido and Burna Boy and people like that, and also getting into the UK rap scene. Like he was trying to really make sure that we were putting on for, I guess, global music in a black sense too. So I got to started really looking into what's an option, how do you trade stocks, like different just patterns you should be looking for, stuff like that. And I just got really invested into it. Like I was really interested in just keeping it going and just the whole process of it. I think the lack of I would say rules, like you have to kind of set your own rules so you trade within certain parameters so you don't just blow up your account.
Right.
Not much else to say. Girl, pick up the phone. You my favorite, baby. My song plays your ringtone. Tell you I could do no wrong. Love it when I'm coming home to you. Yeah, I'm in my zone. They can't stop the motion.
Welcome back to the Mike on Mike podcast, and I'm your host, Mike Robinson, and here we talk about real people, real stories. Today we got another special guest. We got a recent FAMU grad, co-host of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. They got over 100 episodes shot so far, and they still going. And day trader, my good friend Antonio Hughes. We appreciate you for coming on the pod today, my brother.
Appreciate you for having me,
Of
bro.
course,
Really
of course,
appreciate
of
it.
course. But I want to dive right into it. How did the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast start?
So actually, my brother, he graduated with marketing degree. He went to Dominican University, and while he was there, he was trying to work with different companies like Live Nation and Spotify and even like Apple Music and stuff like that. And he was having trouble really getting his footing and kind of getting those type of
Right, absolutely.
jobs, those looks as far as that goes. Like those are the type of things you got to know somebody. It's
Right,
kind of like
for sure.
working with a financial firm. You got to sit there and know somebody, get yourself really in there that way. And he still had a real passion for music, so he started off just kind of making videos at first. Like he was making videos for social media, and they were doing pretty decent. And then he decided he wanted to bring me on because I feel like I have a knack for finding artists pretty early. Like I
sure.
would send him artists that I was listening to that I had heard that hadn't really popped yet, and they usually would end up doing pretty well after I would end up sending it to him. So he wanted to get my opinion on some stuff, get us on to talk about music in general, and he just felt like there was kind of like a gap in the kind of connection between the music in the diaspora, African music, Jamaican music, Caribbean music, and music we hear here. And like there wasn't a lot of people talking about it who could
absolutely.
understand both sides of it, understand the American side, and a person who's been pretty well traveled and been able to be out in that way and kind of feel that scene and feel that type of music. So he started up the pod there. He brought me on. Our first episode was when he was still in school, and we tried to record it. It was bad. It was terrible. I can tell you that.
What was y'all using? Just like on the phone? Just...
Yeah. It was. I mean, the thing is, we both upgraded our phones specifically so we could record on our phones, keep doing that, and not have to buy cameras. And it's worked out pretty well. But like even that, it was on the camera. The angles was bad. The microphones was cheap. It was just a lot of stuff we had to fix. And I would say it took us probably maybe 20, 25, 30 episodes to really figure out how we wanted everything to look week to week, especially with like me being in school and then me being kind of back and forth between school and home.
For sure.
Figuring out that setup, but it's been good.
No, absolutely. Well, that's good that y'all actually like dove into it without like all the proper equipment, because a lot of people put off like doing stuff. He's like, oh, I need the perfect camera, or I need this and that. So that's good that y'all actually like.
Yeah, you definitely don't need that type of stuff. Like, I think that's something that holds people back in a lot of different areas. Is thinking you need everything to be perfect to just get started. Same thing with trading for me. Like we talk about that later, but like you don't really need all the perfect gear and all the stuff to look, I guess, exactly perfect is what I'd say for it.
Absolutely.
For you to sit there and just get started, like just getting your feet wet, understanding what it takes to do what you're trying to do, even at the base level, is gonna help you out a lot. So.
No, absolutely. So when you guys first started the podcast, how did you and your brother like establish the identity of the show?
I feel like that's something that's still a work in progress for us. I definitely think we really focus on just black music in general, but I think him coming from that background of really starting to like Afrobeats music at the time, like he really was getting into like Wizkid and Davido and Burna Boy and people like that, and also getting into the UK rap scene. Like he was trying to really make sure that we were putting on for, I guess, global music in a black sense too. So
Absolutely.
really that was most of our like thematic stuff. We're trying to get into topics that are around that, also just giving people new music and stuff like that. Stuff we're hearing, like I said, me and my brother were sending music back and forth like
absolutely.
crazy. And when that happens, I'm sure you do the same thing.
Who
that,
doesn't?
but,
Yeah.
like, sending music back and forth and stuff, and really just putting that on for people who haven't heard it before. And I think that'll become more important with where music looks like it's going in the next couple of years.
No, absolutely. So you briefly touched on it, but can you describe the chemistry that you and your brother have on the show?
I think it's great. I feel like because of the fact that he knows me really well, I know him. There'll be little inside jokes and like
Absolutely.
things that only we understand. And then like even like a timing thing. Like I feel like when people say you can't do work with your family and you can't work with people you're really close to because it might mess up those relationships, I completely disagree with that. Like
100% same.
Yeah, I think it's really important to sit there and at least try to work with somebody that you're really close with because you already have that type of chemistry. And I feel like y'all also can do a lot of tough love when it comes to like how you're producing stuff, how stuff looks. Like my brother's really particular about how the pod looks, how different videos I make look. Like I remember even just today I was talking to him about this series that we're planning on doing over the next like month and a half, and I sent him like a picture of my video of what I was gonna do, and he was like nah, you gotta do it again. Like I didn't like the shadow right here, like the colors off here. I was like, a normal person I might not take that from there. I might be sitting there looking at him weird, but it's like, this is my brother and I know
Absolutely.
at the end of the day he sitting there with my best interest at heart and
sure.
our best interest at heart, and also like trying to like I told you earlier, I'm trying to go to like the Leon Thomas concert in December, and he was telling me about how he wanted me to get a media pass and like really making sure our branding looks good. So when people come and look at our page, they see that we're really put together, we're branded really well, and like we really have something going. So
No, absolutely. So as far as the show goes, do you and your brother do all the editing yourselves, or do you guys like outsource it in any way?
I do all the editing.
Okay.
I've been editing for about 4 or 5 years now. Like I started like right before college. That really got me into like heavy editing, where I was learning how clips looked, sitting there on social media watching to see how other pods were doing it, using some of the different tools. I had to really learn some of those things. So I do most of the editing. I would say my brother does a decent chunk of it. I would say it's a good, even he would probably say that like a good 80-20. He does a lot more of the graphic stuff.
For
like,
sure.
I'm not as good with like
Like the
Photoshop.
thumbnails and things of that nature. Okay.
Yeah, like he started doing the thumbnails and doing a lot of the, I guess we'll do like graphics and things for Instagram and for TikTok too, and he'll work on those. But a lot of the video editing I'm doing myself. I love it too. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, that's part of the fun of it for this. That's why I do it all myself. Like, what software do you use?
I use Premiere. I wanted to start using, is it DaVinci?
DaVinci Resolve, yeah.
DaVinci's the other good one, but I use that and I use the script. I think you use the script too, because I see.
I use it briefly. I use the script and then I use Final Cut Pro. Yeah.
The script is good though. The script is good for anybody who's like, if you have like a lot of stuff you have to edit, it's really wordy, you're doing interviews or you're talking a lot, it makes it a lot easier because with the script you can do just based off the words. You can just edit based off of words. So it'll transcribe your whole video and then you sit there and edit through that way. And I think it's great. Like I really think anybody who's newer to editing, if you're looking for something that's like really easy to pick up, the script is a good one.
Absolutely. So you do all your clipping and things on Premiere?
I do it on the script.
On the script? Yeah. Okay.
That's the good thing about the script. That's I'm not a big fan of AI. Like I like it, but I don't love it. And the script is has a lot of different AI functions within it. So they'll sit there and sometimes just make clips based off of the different sections that you section out in there.
Right.
It'll put auto captions on there, stuff like that. So it'll make it a lot easier for me to not have to go through each individual hour-long pod, 45-minute long pod, and pick everything out. A lot of the times they pick it out for me. So a lot of the clipping is, I love, that's one of the things. I love clipping too. Clipping is really fun.
Okay, I think you just put me on. I can't lie. So yeah, hearing that, I definitely have not used Descript before. So yeah, you definitely just put me on. I think.
No, I'll send it to you. It's a great
Yeah,
platform.
yeah, definitely gonna need that.
It
Definitely.
makes your life easier. I think it's only like $20 a month or something. Like
Okay,
that.
that's
like,
not bad.
Yeah, like it's decent, and it'll be worth your money.
Okay, for sure that. But so how do you and your brother decide like what videos you got and like genre you guys are gonna talk about, like the topic? Because you guys go anywhere from you just had a video about Cowboy Carter and country music, and then your brother talks about reggae music. So how do you guys decide like on a day-to-day basis what you guys are gonna post?
I think it's just based on what we're listening to. Like, I made a video the other day about the Tame Impala album that had came out, and like most people wouldn't expect me to make a video about that just because it's like, are you really listening to Tame Impala? But usually I'm just sitting there listening to everything. Every time new music comes out, I scroll through and look through if there's names I don't know. That's a lot of what I'm doing, but it's also that going through news topics, just what I'm seeing on Twitter, kind of every week, like that Cowboy Carter topic. I saw that on Twitter with the stats and everything. Like we did one about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the other day when they put in Andre 3000 and Salt and Pepper and stuff like that. And that one I literally just saw that they got put in, and I just started doing a bunch of research on it. So it's really just based on what we listen into. Like my brother, he'll get on binges where he listening to only On My Piano for 2 weeks, or he's sitting there listening to UK rap super hard, UK drill for a month and a half. Like it's really just kind of, I feel like it's a really big feel thing.
Okay,
Like,
absolutely,
kind of like
absolutely.
that too. So yeah.
No, so after you guys figure out like what you're feeling or whatever, can you just walk us through the creative process after that? Like, what are you exactly researching in order to get a video out?
So usually, it really depends on what the topic is. Like certain things, like I was talking about with AI, there's a lot of AI music topics now because there's platforms like Suno, which is a AI music platform, and that one I'll go look up, like things like how much music is being made with AI now, how are different labels incorporating that into what they're doing. If it's like we're just talking about On My Piano, a lot of that stuff, when it's like not stuff based in America, we're doing a lot of history, so it's like people might not understand these different types of rhythms, where these things come from, where these sounds and patterns are coming from. So just making sure that we're doing that type of research. I would say with stuff that's more stat based, I'm looking for stats. So
For sure.
it really just it's based off the topic. Like I feel like things kind of shift, things kind of change, but usually just using Google, looking up the different artists, or just trying to get as much information as possible to put out. So.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So what would you say separates the R&R podcast from any other music focused podcast?
I would definitely say like our topic base, and even kind of like our audience. Like I said, we're trying to make it as global as possible.
For sure.
Me and my brother are big travelers, so we love to go to different places. When we actually went to Colombia, we were able to see kind of like these dance troupes that they go around to different places. They dance for money. They dance at different shows and stuff like that. So that, I think that's something that really separates us, is the global aspect of it. Like a lot of people are either they're talking about global music or they're talking about American music, and there's no real in between. I feel like we're kind of filling that niche in between where people are people are looking for.
What would you say the most memorable moment from the podcast has been so far?
I made a video about God, I can't remember the guy's name right now. Oh, Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh is an artist that worked really close with Bob Marley.
Okay.
So if you ever heard of Marley and the Wailers, that was like the band he was in like before he passed and everything. But I made a video about him, and within maybe it was like 20 minutes, his because he passed on, but his Instagram page liked it, reposted it instantly. And I think it's been those moments, like you putting work into something and you see people actually really receive what you did really well, or they agree with you, or even sitting there just arguing with people about different albums and stuff. Like I think that's really been my favorite part, is seeing the response and stuff, even when people don't like what we said or like the opinions we have. Like I remember my brother, he had this really big time where he was just saying like rap is dead, like rap is gone, like it's not the same as it was, which at this point I agree with him. But like he there was people arguing with him like down and sitting there having a like argue with the people and like that type of stuff. I love interacting with people when it comes to music. I think people don't do that enough when it comes to just healthy debate on stuff, and I think that's really important. So I think those are some of my favorite
Okay,
moments,
no,
for
for
sure.
sure that. So, what would you say the most challenging part about running the podcast is?
I would say just being consistent. I think at first me and my brother were having issues with like timing and everything, like not being in the same place is super tough as far as like making sure we're both free to do it at that time, and just making sure I'm time managing well, like making sure I'm editing everything by like Tuesday, because we try to drop Wednesdays, getting the clips out by Wednesday night, Thursday, really just managing my time and making sure consistency is a thing, because like you said, we're over 100 episodes now, we're at 110, trying to go towards 1,000, like I mean at this point, but I definitely think that's the biggest part for a lot of people too, is like being
For sure.
consistent, especially when it comes to social media, because I'm cool with posting on social media, but I've never been the biggest, like I want everybody to know everything about my life.
Absolutely.
So I definitely, that's something that I still will sit there like, I don't know.
I struggle with it too, man. Like I'm way behind y'all. I'm 15 episodes in, and look, I'm way behind. I still struggle with. Am I gonna post this? Like, does this look good? Like, what?
Yeah,
So
no, I feel like to that point, like a lot of people feel like that, like, should I post it? Is it gonna go well or anything like that? Put it out. Like I feel
Absolutely.
like that's your best bet, is put it out and see the reception, because at least if it flops, then you know that, okay, I gotta make some changes here. Or if people really like it, that'll give you a new content lane to just sit there and focus on.
No,
and then
absolutely.
really just focusing on what you're doing best and what is producing the best type of results for you. So
No, for sure. So, how do you and your brother stay consistent? Because I mean, you don't get to 100 episodes without being consistent. So yeah, you say you struggle with it, but it doesn't look like it.
yeah. I mean, now if you went back to the first, I would say 25. Like that first 25 was rough. Like the editing was bad. I was not good at editing yet. All that stuff was tough. But at the end of the day, knowing what we want to do and having kind of like a North Star of like, okay, we want to start throwing events for people. We want to be able to throw concerts at some point. My brother was talking about wanting to work with artists and get more towards like A&R and doing like albums and stuff.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like I think it's the having goals set out in front of you will always get you to just stay consistent and stay on something. And it's like when you really love it, like I really love talking about music. I feel like when people, I'm one of the people, I would say, within my friends who it's like people are coming to me for music, people are coming to me to ask me about what I'm listening to and stuff like that. So I definitely think it's that. And then just being kind of on each other, like doing those check-ins, like I would say in the past 2 months, me and my brother have almost been doing like daily check-ins to see where we are with work, calling in with each other to discuss like different topics that we want to talk about on the podcast specifically, or just making videos for the pages. I think really just those things, like having somebody to hold you accountable definitely helps. Like when I see my brother do a video, and it does really well, I get that competitive nature.
And you're like, okay, mine got to be better.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
He got 1,000 views, I want to get 2, like that type of thing. So I really think it's just having that accountability with you.
No, 100%. Yeah. So we briefly touched on this a little bit. You said you and your brother, you said rap is dead. How do you feel about the music scene today?
I feel like it's changing a lot. There's a lot of mixing of genres.
For sure.
There's a lot of like niche artists that are popping off. I feel like the idea of being like a solo artist is something that's becoming more prominent. It's always been a thing, but I think with the ability for people to just post whatever they want to post now, get their music out, pay for their own social media ads, like that type of thing. People don't have to go to a label nowadays. There's things like United Masters where you can go post your music. Stuff like that. I think that's where we're seeing a lot of stuff going. I think stuff like Afro beats, on my piano, EDM music, that type of stuff is really blowing up right now.
For sure.
I think it's the rhythm aspect of it. I think it's the DJs working with the specific artists. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Fred Again.
I have not actually.
Yeah, he's a I don't know if he's from the UK or if he's from France, but don't shoot me for that. I don't know who it is, but he has worked with artists like Skepta. He remixed the Lil Baby song. He remixed the Future song. Like, he has gotten really big doing stuff like that, doing like the Boiler Room sets. If
Okay, yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
like that type of thing. So I think that's becoming a bigger thing. A lot of people are getting DJ decks and stuff like that, learning how to mix songs together. But I think those are some of the trends I'm seeing. Like, I think the nicheness of rap is coming back. I think that's a big thing. Like, people are seeing Like you really, I think after the whole Kendrick Drake thing, that people were like, "I know, we want rap. Like we want people going at each other. We want real like art." One of my favorite albums of this year was, it wasn't Birds Don't Sing. The Clips album that came out this year. I can't remember the name right now.
I had it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I had it.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody know what I'm talking about. The Clips album that came out this year. One of my favorite albums of the year. It really, like, I feel like it really was on there rapping. They really was on there rapping. Malice went crazy that whole album. The production on it was crazy, and I think that's what's gonna come back to rap is that real skill. Like I think a lot of it for the past, at least I would say since like 2016, like the SoundCloud era, all that, everybody was just getting thrown deals.
Absolutely.
They was throwing everybody a bunch of big bread, like especially the women artists too. Like you saw people like Sexy Red start to blow up, Glorilla start to blow up, Megan Thee Stallion start to blow up, people like that. And I definitely think that's something you're going to see less of in rap specifically, is them throwing out them big deals, and I think that's going to cause a lot of artists to get creative and have to figure out what they're doing, because labels are changing too. Like you're seeing labels who had a lot of those, I guess, historic people in them, people who knew the artists, people who understood
For sure.
artist development and things like that. Those people are going away, and it's more so on the privatization of stuff. It's like we're seeing the privatization of normal businesses, but that's happening in the music industry too.
Okay, for sure. So do you think like current artists are going to make that change as well, or do you think that or is this going to be a new wave of new influx of new talent?
I think there's gonna be a little bit of both. Like I think there's artists like Russ is one of the people I really like too. He's been like really on the solo artist thing for a long time, but he was doing a bunch of interviews before his last album came out, and he was just talking about how artists that are coming up now could really thrive doing stuff like making, even though it's kind of annoying, making 5 posts a day about your song or doing something over and over to just really market what you're doing. I think that's gonna be like a bigger thing. I think that a lot of the newer artists and the older artists are starting to get it. I think there's people like I'm trying to think of people I've seen doing it pretty well that are like, I guess you would say older artists. I feel like Drake is trying. Like he's trying.
A little bit.
Yeah, like he's trying. Like he's trying to get with the new wave and understand this new social media era. But I think it's there's definitely like a learning curve that you see.
For sure.
Like I think there's different artists who are struggling with it. There's artists who have done really, really well with it. Like I definitely think somebody I got to see live. I saw Boosie live when I was
Did you?
when I was at FAMU. I went for homecoming and I saw Boosie live, and I feel like he does really well with like social media.
Absolutely, he's one of the best at social media.
Yeah, and then going in real life too, like seeing the crowd reception. Like I feel like he's been one of those people that's been really good about how to put his face out there, how to do that. There's an artist called La Russell, if you've heard of him.
I have not.
Yeah, he's an artist in California, but
Okay.
he's like super on the solo artist thing. He does these things that I really like this idea too. He does like this kind of like how Usher has a residency in Las Vegas. He does residencies at his house. So he'll like he puts up a whole stage back there. He does this whole model where it's like pay what you think it's worth. Like so people will come there, some people pay $1, some people will pay him $1,000. Like, and I remember for his last album, he was able to make like, I think he made like 100,000 in the first 24 hours just off pure sales of what people. Yeah, like there's a bunch of new ways to do stuff, and artists just have to figure out how to take advantage of it.
Right,
like,
for
honestly.
sure. Okay, so how do you feel about TikTok and the social media side of the industry, like affecting like people like making songs just for TikTok? Just like, okay, maybe this will blow up on TikTok and then I'll get some. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that?
I've always been in between on that. I think it's kind of like it gives artists a good platform. Like I said, TikTok specifically, you can get out to literally anybody. Like they send your content all over the world. You're gonna get into random algorithms, and I think it really gives you a good chance to like get your music in front of people. But then you see those people like Steve Lacy when he was at his show, and the people were just waiting for the one song that they knew from TikTok.
Right.
Or there's been a bunch of artists who talk about that, saying like, I don't want to be a social media person. I'm I'm an artist. I make music. That's what I'm focused on. And I think it's definitely taking some of that away. Like you see different artists making minute 30 songs and like really short stuff. And I definitely think it's tampering a little bit with good music, but I think all the good stuff always ends up shining through. I definitely think for those artists who are really focused on I'm making good music, I'm bringing quality, and I know how to market it with social media. I think it's one of the best things that's ever been created. Like I said, there's not as much of a need for a major label at this point if you really know how to market yourself, if you have some type of money to sit there and back your videos, to throw ads on them and stuff like that. So I think it's a good and a bad thing. I think there's a gift and a curse for sure.
No, absolutely. That's with anything. So who do you think the most underrated artist in the game is right now?
Ooh, that's a rough
Let's go
one.
hip hop / R&B wise.
Hip hop / R&B wise. I'm thinking newer. I'm a big Smino person, and I think I'm gonna put Smino and Leon Thomas there.
Okay.
I feel like Leon Thomas is just underrated for how talented he is in multiple areas. Like you'll hear him rapping on certain songs. His newest album had a little bit more of like a pop funk feel
For
to
sure.
it, and I think with the fact that he can play different instruments, he's a songwriter, he's super versatile, and I feel like he's one of those people that he was almost rookie of the year last year putting out Mud. And then I think Smino, I think he's one of those artists that's super niche. Like
Yeah,
I
Smino's
think
super niche,
yeah, like you gotta, I think you
He's a if you know you know.
yeah, definitely. Like he's if you know you know, and he's super neo soul to me. That's one thing. I love neo soul music. If you don't know what neo soul is, like a quick description on that is basically like a combination of rap, R&B, soul, funk music. Kind of think of like Erykah Badu, D'Angelo. He just passed. Like those type of people. I feel like he fits in that lane really well, and I think that just makes him just very versatile.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So on the other side of that coin, who do you say is overrated right now?
Overrated. I don't like Ken Carson that much.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm not a big Ken Carson fan.
I like Ken Carson a lot.
No, I don't know that. I think it's the like I was talking about before the kind of mixing of genres.
Yeah.
I haven't ever been the biggest rock rap person, so like Playboy Cardi, Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson. Like I think Ken Carson is solid, but there's just if I want to listen to that type of music, I'm gonna just go listen to Playboy Cardi. I'm gonna just go listen to a whole lot of Red, and I think it's something that I can't listen to all the time. Like, and I think that's just a me thing.
Okay, I can understand not listening to it all the time. I can respect that.
Yeah, I think him and I don't even know. I feel like I couldn't even think of like a really overrated artist besides that. That's just the first one I thought of. I think I'm gonna go.
That's your answer then, yeah.
I was just thinking Ken Carson.
Carson. All right. So, dang, I like Ken Carson a lot. Dang. So over time, and through your different experiences, you just came back from Florida recently. How has your approach to music affected your approach towards content?
That's a good question. I think just being kind of open to stuff. I would definitely say growing up, I was listening to like mostly rap and R&B, but then my brother introducing me to Afrobeats music and kind of traveling around, being able to hear reggaeton when I was out, being able to hear how Bad Bunny performed in a club here versus in Chicago. I mean, here versus in a place like Colombia, or hearing Vibes Cartel in Jamaica versus hearing it here. Like, I think you just have to be more open to just new stuff and being open to even making, on the content side, new types of content, like making content about new types of artists, going and doing different types of research. One of the videos I did was about this artist. She was actually before the Smino show that I went to, but her name's Samara Sin. She's dope. Like, she's another underrated one, to get back to that question.
Okay,
but
for sure.
Yeah, she's a real good rapper, and I made a video about her, but kind of switching up that content style where in my head I was like, okay, I know I'm at this concert to enjoy myself, but I also want to get certain angles so that I can put it into the content.
For sure.
Like, yeah, I think it makes you just think outside of the box. I think that's something that I've learned a lot, is just to be open and just be open to interpretation.
Yeah,
So.
no, absolutely. So transitioning topics a little bit. Congratulations, recent FAMU graduate. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
What made you initially choose FAMU when you finished your community college?
I think being in an area where, and this is no offense to anybody, but like being in an area where I was mostly around white people, I'm mostly in areas where I'm the only black person in the room, especially, like I was in a lot of accelerated classes when I was younger. I was in a lot of the classes that, like the AP classes and stuff like
For
that.
sure.
So I'm sitting in there, one of the only black people, kind of just almost feeling uncomfortable in my own skin.
I
in a
understand
way.
exactly
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah, man, bro. So like going down there, it just felt like this different level of comfortability that I hadn't felt before. Just even stepping on the campus for the first time, like I loved being down there. I think also my dad, when he was still alive at the time, he was down there. My brother being down there, I wanted to be able to develop a closer relationship with them. And I just thought getting that HBCU experience in comparison to going to a PWI, I feel like I could really excel too. Because I think one thing that I saw that kind of just registered in my head immediately, like you walk around and you see people in suits, you see people in these like super fitted, everybody fitted now, stuff like that. You see people succeeding who look just like you. So it's like
100%.
it definitely motivated me a lot to see that, especially like coming in, the people I got to move in with, shout out to all my roommates, but being able to be around them every day, seeing what they was doing, see what they was going towards, it was like, it made me feel like, okay, I can do this too. Like, this
No,
makes me-
absolutely. Because I low-key had a similar experience. I went to Illinois State. So when I went to my good friend Gerard, you know Gerard.
Yeah.
He went to Morehouse. So I went to Morehouse twice my last year of school. And that spring break, I was like, regretting my college decision. I was like, just seeing all the people that look like me thriving in different fields. You know, they had I forgot, Maryland's congressman spoke at their graduation.
Yeah,
Black man. I can't even remember dude's name. But it was like just seeing that, I'm like, dang. And then just the amount of fun that I had while I was down there, I was like, I should have came to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a different type of experience. I say it's a different type of partying too.
Absolutely,
like, it's
absolutely.
real different. Anybody single, there are a lot of beautiful girls. I can say that, but I loved it. I would send my kids to a HBCU if I could, honestly.
No, 100%. Yeah, no, they at least got to go see what the word is.
Right,
They
right.
got to at least visit.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the biggest misunderstanding that people have about HBCUs is?
Well, back to that party thing, I think people think it's all partying. I think that's a bigger thing. Like, I had some friends who had to do an extra year just because they came in not focused or like not locked in. And I also think, I think the misconception of it's all black people is another thing. Like, I would walk into my classes, there's a lot of people who are on the football teams or different girls that I would see, different white girls that were there. Like, I think if you're a person who, you also can't afford going to a PWI, and even if you're not a black person, you can go there and get a great education. It's not that expensive. Like, my out of state when I first got there was probably around, I want to say it was around $10K. Like,
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. That's cheaper
there.
than what I paid at Illinois State.
Right.
State.
Nah, some of the other schools that definitely wax you out of your money. But I would say that those are two. Like, feeling like it's only gonna be black people. It's not only black people. There's people of other races down there, stuff like that. Yeah. Also, I feel like people think it's like everything is run down and like they're not putting in new money into stuff. Like, we had donors donate. My senior year, they donated over $20 million to our school. Like, there's money to be made there. There's scholarships there. There's,
Absolutely.
Definitely a lot of growth that you can get from going there. So
No, for sure. So, how do you think being in that environment changed you for the better?
I think it made me, like I was talking about kind of with the music and the content thing, it made me a more open person. I think before I left, I was a little more timid as far as talking to people, kind of just striking up conversations, networking, stuff like that. So I think that was the main thing that I really learned being down there. And then just, I feel like how important relationships are. Like,
Absolutely.
I didn't realize how much I missed being around my family. Like, until I got down there, I couldn't see my mom. I couldn't go see my cousin he growing up at the time. I having a baby, like things like that. I think just making sure you're making sure you're keeping up those close relationships with those people closest to
Absolutely.
you will definitely help you out. And I think also it made me more self-sufficient. Like I said, I got down there, I'm here by myself, nobody here. I could not find a job at the time. Like it was real tough to find a job. So trying to figure out different ways to make money, like it definitely will put you on a path to like just build yourself. Like I feel like I grew a lot in those 2 years. Like
No,
a lot,
absolutely.
for sure.
No, for sure that. So what would you say your favorite memory while you were down there was?
Homecoming. Oh my God, I love homecoming. Homecoming is so fun. Dude, there's events going on Monday to Sunday. They always, like you was talking about with the mayor or the congressman or whatever you said, came down to Morehouse. They have artists coming down. They have different people who are movie stars that went to FAMU coming down. Like there was somebody, I always forget this guy's name, but he is usually, you'll probably see him in some of the Medea movies and stuff like that, Tyler Perry stuff. But he came down, talked to a group of architecture and business students because he was in real estate. So that I would definitely say I miss homecoming all the time. And another one I could say is the football games and tailgates. You obviously at a PWI, you're gonna get those huge tailgates and everything like that. But seeing the Greek culture outside of our stuff and like, even though we sucked, everybody showing up. Every week, like, that was the fun parts for sure. And I think wearing a suit was a new thing for me too. I think that was something I didn't know I liked, but I definitely liked having to wear a suit 2 times a week. So if you go to business school at FAMU, just know you're gonna be sweating up and down them hills wearing your suit.
Absolutely. And he mentioned artists coming to the shows. Morehouse had similar things. It's not small artists. They had Gunna, G Herbo, Young Thug. Like it was back when they was still cool. Like they got like major artists come through them concerts.
Yeah, we had this year we had Lotto, Party Next Door, like I said, Boosie.
Like not small names at all.
Not small names, bro. They get good names. They pay for them. They pay for them. Like it's always a good time. Like I recommend it to anybody.
Absolutely.
Go to HBCU.
So after all that fun, what do you say the biggest thing you learned while you were down there? Let's say personally and educational/professionally.
Ooh. Personally, always watch your back. I'll say that. Like like I said, I was down there, met a bunch of new people. Some people I could trust, some people I couldn't trust, some people that didn't have my best interests at heart. And like just different stuff. Like especially if you go into an HBCU, a lot of the areas that the HBCUs in are in kind of more hood areas. I could definitely say that, but that's not even by choice. Like go look up some of the history.
Right,
why
absolutely.
HBCUs are the way they are. But definitely watch your back. And then on an educational sense, I would even say I could get back to the networking. Like networking is super important.
100%.
A lot of the people my first internship was just based off the fact that I had I think I had a Chicago pin on my suit when I was walking through the fair and like the career fair or whatever. And this guy from Eli Lilly, which is the first company I got to work at, he came up to me and was like asking me, oh, you go to Chicago? And I started talking to him about the fact that my parents went to Hampton and stuff, and that's where he had went or whatever. And those type of interactions will set you up really well. And even I started golfing when I was down there, and going to the golf course and kind of meeting rich people when I was sitting there golfing and stuff, that was something else. Like just network as much as possible. Like I think that was something, even though it's not like a direct like something from a book, a business thing, like networking outside of what you learn in school is going to set you up very, very well.
No, absolutely. All right, so now we're transitioning into your day trading life. How did you get into day trading? Because I can't lie, it was kind of random.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was, I want to say it was freshman or sophomore year of college, Amazon had did a split or whatever. And my mom at the time, she was investing in the stuff. My dad was heavy into the stock market all through the 90s and into the 2000s. He got more into the operational side. But she bought me my first stock, which was Amazon, because it had split or whatever. So I was sitting there feeling like big stuff. Well, I got an asset, doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But after that, I was just kind of interested in just learning more about the market in general. So I was just doing basic research, investing in normal stocks, doing stuff like that. And then I got to school, and like I said, I could not find a a job. Like, I went to so many places. I was applying every day. I'm going into places, giving them my resume. They're sending me back. And I was like, okay, what out of some of the basic skills that I have can I do to sit here and make money, but also help my resume? Because I was having issues getting any type of financial jobs, any type of internships in that field, anything to just show that I had a good understanding of what I was doing.
For sure.
So I just started doing research. Like, I just started really looking into what's an option, how do you trade stocks, like different just patterns you should be looking for, stuff like that. And I just got really invested into it. Like, I was really interested in just keeping it going, and just the whole process of it. I think the lack of I would say rules, like, you have to kind of set your own rules so you trade within certain parameters so you don't just blow up your account.
Right.
But that was something that I really was able to I guess take from it. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, how would you say you taught yourself and learned like trading and stuff? Like, did you have a mentor, or was it all like, YouTube University?
A lot of YouTube University, and a lot of books too. I've read a couple different books. There's some that I could recommend. I'll send you pictures of them so you could throw them up on the screen and stuff. But definitely a lot of books that you could read. There's one called Trade Like the Casino that goes a lot into psychology and like just some of the different stuff as far as price action. There's different books like that. But also I have sat there and paid to do one-on-ones with different people that I admire. So like there's certain people that I would go to. Also, I had some friends that I met while I was in school,
right? And
I'll be able to chop it up with them about like what they were doing and the different asset classes they were trading. Because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is just based in stocks and based in like options. But I have friends that are doing like these things called futures, which are kind of similar, but futures are more so they'll do like broad market stuff. You could trade in futures. You could bet that coffee prices are going to go up. You could bet that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
You could bet the price of corn is going to go up. You
Okay.
could sit there and just do oil. You could do if you want to trade platinum, like you want to trade gold, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So that gives you exposure to like a wider set of asset classes. That
For sure. Okay, I get you. So how long do you think you would say you were like before you got like confident enough to be like, okay, let me put a little bit of my own money into this, like, and actually start trading my own funds that I've worked hard for?
You know what's funny, bro? I was doing that from day one.
From day one?
Yeah, from day one. I barely had any money, but I was like, if I could sit here and learn how to resell shoes, like, Odin and stuff, like I was reselling him, I was like, I could definitely figure this out. Like, I'm smart enough to figure out how to do this. I'm willing to put my own money into it because I know what the outcome could be. And like, I fell on my face a lot, bro. Like, I can definitely say at first I was struggling. I would have some big days. I would have a lot of down days. And I just was able to find a groove probably within this past year. But from jump, I was using my own money, starting with little amounts. I started off trading this stock called IWM, which tracks a lot of the smaller stocks that you'll see. So a lot of those small cap stocks, a lot of the smaller companies. But it was tough at first. And I think it taught me a lot of like the emotional side of it, because anything you put your money into, you're going to have some type of emotional feeling.
No, 100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
Yeah, that's something that's really important, is being able to control your emotions. And like, I think that set me up well to like be able to now do that when I'm trying to put on bigger size, or like when I'm trying to put on more money. Like that, it definitely helped me doing it on the smaller level at first.
No, for sure. So how do you keep your emotions in check? Because like, for me, I know if I lost $500 or something like that, I'd probably have an attack.
Oh, dude,
left arm will go numb.
No, dude, it's not easy. I can say that I still struggle with that, because I've always been a person who's super hard on myself. And with trading, I feel like a lot of the times the mistakes you make are things that show up in your normal life. Like, people will often say the market will expose things about you that you either knew about yourself or didn't even know about yourself emotionally. And I think you definitely will see that with trading. So doing a lot of stepping back from it, trying to look at, okay, what did I do wrong? Having a plan definitely helps you a lot. So having like a structured list of like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a breakout at this level, or I'm looking for a retest of this certain level from a couple years ago. So really just having a plan and going within that, and then knowing that there's no certainty in it. Like if you put on a position, you should have in your mind already, okay, I could lose this from jump. Like at the moment you put it on, it could go against you. I've had that happen to me a couple of different times where I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this looks good. I think I'm gonna enter here. Immediately goes against me, and I'm sitting there like, well, what am I do? Or like, I had this recent position in this stock called Merck, which is a healthcare company. They had been healthcare companies have been looking better this year as far as like getting bids and people really investing into them. And there's this pattern that I use called Wyckoff. It's basically like a pattern that shows it'll be a breakout, and then there'll be kind of like a low volume sell off, and then there'll be another breakout. Kind of that's how the market kind of moves in those kind of stages or whatever. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I see this. I think this is what I'm looking for. And I lost $500 on that, and I was wrong. So it was like it was one of those things where you just kind of gotta eat it. Money. Like at the end of the day, you kind of gotta feel like that. And I know once I really size up, which I'm planning on doing the next, I would say 6 months, that'll come more often where I'm sitting there just having to eat it. But it's just part of the game. Like it's kind of like I always kind of compare it to basketball. You take shots, you go in, you're going to shoot, and you're going to miss a lot of shots, but you're going to make a lot of shots, and it's just about focusing on the next one. Like
100%. Yeah. So what signals are you looking for when you're like when you go into a trade, for example? Like what are you looking for? Like, okay, this is going up, like what, or going down, I need to pull out. Like what exactly is the objective there?
So a lot of the times I'm looking for, there's this pattern called break and retest. So usually there'll be key levels on a chart where you're seeing a lot of wicks, which if you have looked at a candle before, I could probably, again, send it to Mike so he can show you what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
But usually you can see on a candlestick, there'll be like longer wicks on certain stuff. And that's usually areas where people are buying and selling. So if you see that area and you wake up in the morning and stuff, it'll break out of your key level sometimes. Either to the upside or to the downside. You can use it both ways. And then a lot of people will just hop in when that first pattern kind of happens. You see it break through that level, I'm gonna just add there. But you want to see it come back and confirm that level is a level that people are actually buying off of, that is confirming that it's support for what you're thinking of. So really just looking for that. A lot of the times I'm a big swing trader too, so swing trading a little bit different from day trading. Day trading, you're really just intraday looking to buy and sell stuff. Swing trading, you're trying to hold out for a certain amount of time, so you might be holding anywhere from 2 to 3 days to 4 to 5 months, like depending on, yeah, certain ones I have held like for a while, just trying to get that certain profit out of it or something like that. And also trimming into profit is another one that I do a lot. So a lot of the times people think you need to, one, be right all the time to trade, and two, get like 100% on every single trade, and that's not the case at all. A lot of the base hits that I've sat there building up my account with have been just that base hit. So it's I'm sitting there on a Monday, I might wake up and, oh, my position's up $40. I'm gonna take a partial trim here. I'm gonna take a little bit out or something like that. Like that will help you a lot, sitting there trying to take out partial profits as you're going, and then just letting your good positions run and cutting the ones that go against you really fast. You can usually tell really fast comparing it, when you're comparing it with like volume and different stuff like that. You're usually able to tell pretty fast if you should get out. And there's also partially kind of getting out too. Like if you think I might be right, I might be wrong, I kind of want to give this more time, but I don't want to be too exposed to it, you could take like a partial small loss or cut some at break even type of thing. So I'm really looking for stuff like that.
Got you. So would you say there are like weekly or daily goals that you set for yourself when you're looking, or?
Yeah, at the moment it's mostly weekly goals. Like I'm trying to make anywhere from 500 to 1500 every week at the moment, because I am, like I told you, gonna start working soon. So I'm not looking to have those like insanely big gains, but I do have like goals of being able to just support myself off of that in the near future. So really just focusing on building up my account, trying not to take big losses on the week. That's another big one that'll completely just like take your mentality out of it.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say those are mainly like my main goals though. It's like I have a real profit goal, and then just executing properly, because there's a lot of times where I'll come in sloppy, or maybe I'll wake up late or something like that. So just trying not to take positions when I haven't had time to really like digest.
What do you mean come in sloppy? Like you haven't done research on it? Or
yeah, okay. Like sometimes I'm in different Discords and stuff like that to follow. There's this thing called flow, basically, where it'll show you when bigger positions are being entered in the market. So you might see somebody put $7 million on Apple stock to go up, or you might see a person that I've seen positions as big as like 24, 25 million come in for people betting on things like Tesla. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'll use a lot of that stuff. And like sometimes you just have a lot of information being thrown at you too. Another thing people use a lot for sentiment, at least to understand what people are kind of feeling about the market, is Twitter. So Twitter's become a bigger thing. And like it's just a lot of the noise stuff. So if you have a lot of noise going on, you have a lot of people who have different thoughts about the market, people who have different sentiments. Some people are bullish, which means you think the market's going to go up. Some people are bearish, think the market's going to go down. So if I just come in without a proper plan, or I'm kind of just taking positions that are like off of my plan, even if I had time to look at them within that day, I would just call that sloppy, honestly.
Okay, got you. So through all that noise, how do you end up picking like the final thing to trade? Like, you know, everybody says they'll put 25 in Apple, or they'll put 7 million in Tesla. How do you know, like, okay, maybe I should do what he's doing, or he's doing, like, how do you make that final decision?
I mean, because of the fact that I'm a person who comes into stuff with a long-term time horizon. Like, I understand that, like, for example, Amazon, for a while, their stock was super down, and now they're one of the most bought companies, one of the most used companies in the entire world. Like, and if you can sit there and look at the fundamentals of a business, and you can say, okay, this is undervalued, or this probably deserves to be at a higher price, then I would say that's something that I really use as far as like long term, looking at companies that have large moats, looking at companies that have good CEOs. Like a lot of the things you see now, companies like Nvidia, companies like PLTR, which is Palantir, companies like, one of my favorites is Robinhood.
Okay.
Like having founder led companies is something that you see they show a lot more passion towards their businesses. So that type of stuff, when it comes to long-term investing, stuff that just is undervalued for the type of value it brings to the marketplace. And then as far as like actual trading, I'm using a lot of like volume. So like I said, volume and key levels is really what I'm looking for. So if I come to the day looking at one thing, like for example, Friday I was looking at DoorDash, and I was looking at Microsoft for downside. Like I was looking for it to go down and stuff like that, but I had a specific criteria of like, okay, I'm not going to trade within this zone, and then if it goes above this specific level, which I think the level is like $505 for Microsoft specifically,
okay,
don't buy it. Like, just don't do it. So really just setting a criteria beforehand, setting your rules beforehand, doing research on like what are the best times to trade and stuff like that, when's the best time to enter positions, and doing kind of like historical knowledge on yourself. Like everybody's different. I got friends, like I told you, Odin, he trades a little bit too.
Okay.
He doesn't trade that often, but he trades a little bit too. He's more of a person that can handle those big swings with day trading and stuff like that. I don't like that type of stuff. I don't like how that makes me feel.
It makes you nervous.
Yeah, it makes me real nervous. I would say buying with time is something that I really like to do. So really just to like wrap that, have a plan, stick to your criteria, and just try to focus on those things, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
No, absolutely. So you briefly just started posting and you're trading on your social medias and things of that nature. So what would you say your strategy for sharing your trades are? Or you really don't have one, you just kind of...
I mean, with the trades, I don't really have much of a strategy at the moment. I'm still learning. I'm still learning something new every day. Obviously, I've been able to have some good positions and have those different times where I'm making $500 in a day, or I'm getting close to touching $1,000 days and stuff like that. And kind of just showing people like the openness of it. Like I'm sitting here, when I have losses, I posted it. Like,
Right, for sure.
When I have those wins, I post it. I'm really just trying to give people the same knowledge that I'm learning. I know that, especially within the Black community, I feel like our problem at this point isn't really access to funds. It'd be access to information and just kind of knowing. Like there's a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like when you interviewed Caden, some of that stuff about credit I didn't know. So like
That's why we had him on here.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
bro. But like they I feel like a lot of people don't have that information. People
sure.
have sat there and asked me about it when I've just posted like, oh, this is how much I made today, or like this is a stock that I'm looking at long term. People always hit me up for it and ask me like, yo, what do you think about this, or like what made you get into it, that type of stuff. How much money do you need to get started? So I really think just letting people know that I'm human, two, I'm trying, and also we're in this day and age where like you kind of have to market yourself through social
100%.
media. So I'm sitting here, like I said, eventually I want to be able to work for like a bigger firm, like work for a CME. My dad used to work for CME. There's companies like Cantor Fitzgerald, or it maybe even talking about a BMO in their wealth management department. You never know who's going to see that. Like I feel like one thing my aunt told me was that she was just sitting there talking to one of her friends, and one of her friends had mentioned that she saw my video and was like, oh, this is really informative, and she started watching the stuff that I was putting out. So like you just never know who's going to see it.
You never know who's
like,
watching. Yeah.
Honestly,
No,
bro.
for sure that. So, all right, we're going to end off here with a couple rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Music, trading, just random stuff. So, what was your favorite rap album? Actually, let's just say favorite general album of 2024, 2025, the last 2 years.
I would say Mutt was up there for me.
Leon Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that album.
Why,
Great album.
why that one?
I think for him to come out so strong, like, no, of course he had a couple of albums before that,
Right.
But I feel like that was the one that made him like everybody's watching now, like all the eyes are on you. And then for him to also come out past that and do the tour that he did, sell out the tour, like I feel like it was kind of like a masterclass in like how to show people like, you know, I'm here. I'm not just a songwriter. I'm not just that dude off Victorious. Like I'm a music artist. So
Right.
I think that was something that's one of those reasons.
Absolutely. So we kind of answered this earlier, but who do you think your most slept on artist is?
Let me give you all a different one instead of who I've been talking about. I'll talk about I don't even know if he's slept on. I think in America he's slept on, but Ashake, he's actually no. I'm gonna go with J Hus. J Hus is a UK rap artist. He makes a lot of like grime stuff, but he also makes, like I said, UK rap. He'll dabble in the Afrobeat on my piano because he's a little bit Nigerian too.
Okay.
So
So is he like a Skepta type?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah, definitely. He's cold too. I think something that I've always liked, I don't know if this is plausible, but like I like how certain people's voices sound.
That's not plausible when you're talking about music.
No, but like certain people have that like tone or inflection that really catches you when it comes to songs. Like that well, you know what's funny? That's one thing I do like about Ken Carson. Like he always catches my ear, but I can say that. But J Hus is one that I really like. He's a really good UK rap artist. I think in comparison to people like Dave, Skepta, Storms,
absolutely.
and stuff like that, so.
All right. What's your favorite genre of music?
I'm gonna be a rap guy till I'm done, bro. I don't care what my brother says about rap being dead. I think rap shifted, and I'm always sit there and I love listening to rap artists. I think rap is one of those things that's like really of our community, and that's something that I just really enjoy is hearing people. I enjoy the poetry of it too. Like one of my favorite books of all time is Tupac's poetry book, and that like to me that shows like. Some of these artists, when you really listen to these rap artists, when you really break down their lyrics, like they're talking about some deep stuff. They're
Absolutely,
really getting into some of
100%.
those topics you wouldn't expect out of a rap artist. So,
Okay, for sure. Favorite artist now and favorite artist of all time.
I'll go all time first, and for some people this might be surprising. I'm a big Stevie Wonder guy.
Really?
Yeah, I love Stevie Wonder. I think he was one of the first people, like, you know, when you was in the car as a kid and your parents playing songs and stuff like that. Hearing him that way, just seeing how he affected black music in general is something that I really like. And I think at the moment, I could give you a couple of different my favorite artists. I really love Party Next Door. I'm a big Boldy James guy, big Kendrick guy.
New Kendrick or old Kendrick?
Always old Kendrick. Old Kendrick is crazy Kendrick, but I would still say his past 2 albums ain't that bad.
Right, there's still good music.
GNX was real hypey. The Worldwide Steppers was
Steppers was really good.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, it was a deeper album for sure, and like I think people missed the point of that album a lot. But I'm always, like I said, Kendrick guy. Really like Leon Thomas right now. Really like Party Next Door right now. I've been listening to, there's this artist called KWN. She's one of my favorite artists. She's an R&B artist. She's crazy. She's from Nigeria.
Okay.
She's dating Kehlani right now. But she, if you haven't heard that EP she put out this year, that's one of the best R&B EPs I heard this entire year.
I'm gonna put it on when you leave.
Yeah, no, you gotta listen to that, bro. It's solid, bro. It's
All right.
definitely, hey, if you with a girl, with your girl, whatever, turn that on. It's
All right. Dream podcast guest.
I really want to interview Russ. I would honestly, after all like the whoop-de-doo stuff, I would love to hear Thug's perspective on certain stuff. I think that would be funny. Funny enough, Gunna, I'm a big Gunna person.
Gunna's the best artist out right now.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I haven't mentioned Gunna this whole pod. We could go on a whole 30-minute diatribe about Gunna.
We really could.
But
we really could. Shout out Gunna, man.
Yeah, literally. But I would love to get Gunna on. And I mean, I feel like I said, I really like Stevie Wonder. I don't feel like we've seen a lot of Stevie interviews. So if I could ever get Stevie Wonder on a podcast, talk to Stevie, that would be crazy for me. So.
That would be crazy, yeah. So hot take musically.
Drake is a pop artist. I don't know if that's really a hot take, but I'll just go with that one because I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, there's still certain rap songs and there's still certain ones where he's sitting there like Western Road flows, views, all the timestamp records and stuff like that. But if you're looking at what music has really blown up Drake and made him a worldwide artist and stuff like that, it's all the pop stuff. All of his stuff that stays on the charts for the longest, I would say, is the pop stuff. And I don't really know if that's a hot take, but
I was about to say it was, but then you like explained it, and now I'm quiet.
Yeah, no. I feel like he's definitely. Here's the thing: Drake is one of the best actually rappers of our generation. I can't deny that. He's top 3. Him, J. Cole, Kendrick have clearly ran that lane. But if there's any person that took it to different heights and made it more of just, I'm a pop artist. I could go to a place like Australia and sell it out 3 nights in a row. I could sit there and go make music with an artist like Giggs and it doesn't sound weird. Go make music with an artist like Skepta. I could hop on a Camila Cabello album, like stuff like that. He's a pop artist, bro. Like you can't even deny he's a pop artist. But
I'm not denying it. I believe you're right. All right, biggest trading rule.
Don't overtrade. A lot of the times you see people posting these big daily gains and you're seeing people posting different trades that they take, but it's important to just have, and this is in life too, just to have conviction in things and to stay in your conviction and to just not spread your money, and 2, spread your, ideas and emotions too thin across different assets. So like a lot of the times I try to keep it within being in, because of how my tolerance is now, being within like 2 or 3 stocks at a time, and then as far as long term, I try to keep it within 8 to 10. But on the trading side, just making sure that you're not over trading and just doing constant check-ins with yourself. Like people don't realize how much your emotions really matter just in life in general, like in the different career things that you're doing. Like I remember the month after my dad passed, I had the worst trading month, and I could literally pull it up. That was for my stomach and for just learning in general. That was one of my worst months trading because my mind wasn't there. Like I was not thinking about that. I was not there fully. So it's like for me to sit there and think, oh, you're gonna produce at a high level, it just wasn't gonna happen. So,
no, for sure.
Yeah, those 2 for sure.
No, absolutely. All right, and lastly, best advice that you can leave the guests, getting into trading, about to start. what can you give to them?
I would definitely say go and try to learn from somebody who's been doing it for a while. I think, obviously, like I said, I was doing a lot of books. YouTube University did pay for some mentors along the line, like when I was more so down the line. But I think genuinely, if I would have had somebody, and I'm still looking for somebody, if there's anybody who sees this and you want somebody who's really genuinely invested in trading, just having a mentor that can kind of show you hands-on what to do, so you can sit there and trade with them. You can sit there and understand what they're thinking and what's going through their head. So I think that's a really big one, is try to get a mentor, or try to find a trading style and just stick with it. And if it doesn't work, just put the next shot up. So.
Let's put the next shot up. All right, well, we're going to end on putting the next shot up. So this is the Mike on Mike podcast. Once again, this is Antonio Hughes, co-host of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. They're coming out with some new content this upcoming week, November 17th. Y'all tune in. Where to find you on? So what's the social media tags?
Okay, I could give y'all real R&R on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can follow me at ant_Hughes2 on Instagram, and I believe my TikTok is tonebone00, something like that. I gotta change that. I know I gotta change the name, but those are some ways you guys could find me, keep up with me. I would definitely say follow the Instagram page for me, and then the real R&R pages if you're really trying to get into some new music. If you're interested in Afrobeats, interested in reggaeton, interested in rap too. I'm a big backpacker, so definitely check us out there.
All right, y'all heard it here. But I'm your host, Mike Robinson, and we'll see y'all on the next episode of the Mike on Mike podcast.
Not much else to say. Girl, pick up the phone. You my favorite.